Yeah, no problem. First off, just want to start out because I know some of people have reached out asking about our linebacker, Rashad Byrd, because there was a scary incident where he had to be carted off the field last week. He's doing fine. Ended up being a neck strain. A lot of it was precautionary reasons. He's doing well. He's day-to-day right now, and we'll see how he looks. Today probably will not practice, but we'll see. But he's doing well, and we're very appreciative of the thoughts and prayers for him. As far as the game went, obviously did not come out in our favor. We put ourselves in a hole early, going down 35-10. Hats off to Arkansas State for playing a really awesome game, tough game. I knew it would be a tough game between two teams, but we got ourselves in a hole. Credit our kids for fighting back and getting our opportunity to win it at the end. And we gave, by that final spot, we came up a couple inches short and lost the football game. So we got to move on this week and get ready to play Georgia State and have a lot of respect for their coaching staff and also their players and especially their quarterback, what he's doing right now. Bracing up his knee and going playing for his teammates. I think that's really awesome. So that's where we're at, and looking forward to this week.
All right, thank you, Coach. Our first questions come from Whitney Hayworth. Whitney, please go ahead.
Coach, as you mentioned, obviously Dan Ellington playing on a torn ACL, and you have to certainly commend him for that. But, when you look at the film of him all season long before this injury, obviously dual threat quarterback, some of that's been limited with the injury. So how do you prepare for that, not knowing maybe how much he'll run or how much he'll throw, but obviously knowing he's throwing a little bit more?
Well, that definitely is a challenge for us because, when you watch him early in the year, very dynamic throwing and running. And based off how he's feeling, I just don't know with the running piece to it. But we need to make sure we're prepared for it because it is in their offensive repertoire, and we got to prepare for a dual threat quarterback. Brad Glenn does a tremendous job with their offense. The one thing that I've been impressed over the years with Coach Glenn is just how he adapts to his players. So I know he'll have a great game plan with Dan, and if they bring their other quarterback in, and I know they'll play to his strengths also. So, it is a difficult situation because you got a lot of film on him healthy, and now you got a couple games on him where, he's playing with a torn ACL. So, and he still throws the ball great and really runs that offense. And, they got a great running back that's doing an awesome job. Very impressed by their offensive line. So we do have our work cut out for us.
What have you seen specifically from Trey Barnett that impresses you as well? Because obviously he can run it up and down that field like no other.
Well, I know it starts with his O-line, and they use two tight ends and they move them around to try to create an extra gap. But it obviously starts up front. But man, that kid, the Barnett kid, is really running with some passion, and and he's really watching him over the years. He has gotten better each year, and he runs with a purpose. So we better bring our A game because I know he'll bring his.
And last one for me, obviously for you guys, it'll be Senior Day at Paulson Stadium. Just expound upon what your seniors have meant to this program and what kind of legacy that they're going to be leaving.
Well, I tell you, man, they've gone through some stuff. First year, being a 5-7 team, and then the 17 year going 2-10, and having a coaching change, and then last year, helping our football team get to that 10 win and a bowl win. That says a lot about that team and that class. And now you're going into this year, and our record is not going to be as good as it was last year. But what I've seen them do with a lot of the adversity, and probably abnormal adversity, you have adversity every week, every day, but we've had some abnormal adversity this year, and just to see how strong and tough they stay, how close they stay, and how they continue to try to lead our football team. You know, we would love for our fans to really come out and celebrate them this weekend and show them how much they are appreciated.
Well, Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck this weekend, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Whitney. Our next questions come from Travis Johnson with the Savannah Morning News. Please go ahead, Travis.
Hey, Coach, just got a few quick ones for you. You guys, after sweeping App and Georgia State last year, you beat App earlier this year. In terms of y'all's program goals, you know, bowl game, conference championships, stuff like that, where does winning over rivals like App State and Georgia State rank for you guys among those goals?
They matter. You know, obviously our fan bases have, you know, in Georgia State with this rivalry, you know, they've really taken the lead in it, being up 3-2 in it, and always coming down to Paulson and kicking our butt. You know, that makes this game pretty important, and it's important to not only our players, but it's important to our fan base. So obviously it's something that we have to make sure that that we address with our football team, and they understand how important this game is.
And Coach, big picture with the rivalry between you guys and Georgia State, you know, I know you have bigger things going on each week, but generally, do you see any changes that you'd like to see made in the rivalry as far as, you know, where it's played or when it's played on the schedule? Obviously, being a conference game, I don't know how much say you guys have in that.
Are you just talking about the Georgia State game?
Yeah, just the Georgia State rivalry, just in terms of it being at the last game of the year.
I haven't put a lot of thought into that. You know, my initial thought would be, you know, I like playing at our place and I like playing at their place. I wouldn't want to change that. You know, depending on, you know, what it is, you know, maybe the time of year. I really don't have a problem that it's on Thanksgiving weekend when all rivalry games happen. But, you know, because it's, you know, become a rivalry, you know, looking at it at another day or another time, you know, maybe that helps the, you know, both fan bases, not being a holiday week, and your students out of town and all that. I don't know. I hadn't put a lot of thought into it, but, you know, that would be one of the first things that jumps out to me.
Thank you, Coach. I just got one more for you. Are there any updates on J.D. King and Jared Leeds moving into this game?
Right now we will have J.D. King and Jared Leeds back. They should both practice today and should be ready to go for Saturday.